Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all muted, so I can't hear you. I hope everyone's doing well and you had a great week. I'm trying to think. It was Father's Day last week. I hope you all had a good, whatever you were doing for that. So if this is your first class here with us today, I want to welcome you. This is the second class of our 10-week cycle of classes. It's our second Zoom class. And like I showed everyone last week, if you would like to contribute something to the actual class, please raise your hand virtually. I showed everyone how to do that last week, but I'll repeat it again. If you're on a computer, you should click on participants at the bottom of the screen and then click on raise hand. And if you're on a phone, you should click on more at the bottom right of the screen and then click on raise hand. And that way I can see if you have a question and make sure to call on you. Also, if you have not done so already, please join the Mittler Senior Technology WhatsApp group where I send updates and messages regarding the classes. If you are not in that and you have WhatsApp, you could type into the internet mittlersenior.technology/WhatsApp and you'll be able to join the group. If you do not have WhatsApp or you don't know what I'm talking about, please call me or message me and I could help you with that. But please make sure you do this today because I send out messages and I send out updates regarding in WhatsApp, and it's important that you receive those messages. All right, Joe, go ahead. So for those of you who were here last week we learned the basics of Zoom, how to raise our hand, how to use virtual backgrounds, both on the phone and the computer. We learned how to FaceTime and also how to access the news on our devices. Today's lesson, this is actually a new lesson. So if you've taken one of my classes before, you have not experienced this yet. This is completely new. There might be a few pieces, but it's pretty much new. We're going to focus today on online shopping, ways you could purchase things online, and also a few ways of apps that allow you to produce social media on your phone, such as Instagram and Facebook, which I'm sure you've heard of, and we will look at those today. Okay, Joe, go ahead. So we're going to start today with online shopping and followed by social media. So before we actually get into the specifics, I want to mention a few general things about online shopping. Basically, it's a way that you could purchase things online without walking into a store. You could do it completely from your computer at home, and you can purchase things and they'll send it in the mail or however it gets to you. Now there are four things I'm going to mention now that are consistent throughout all the online shopping websites. We are going to look at four of them today. For the main ones in different categories, but here are the four topics that are kind of consistent. So if you use the internet before, you know that the way you make a search is by typing into the search bar. You type a question, you type something that you want to know into the search bar. Each online shopping website has their own search bar where you could search specifically to that online shopping website. So if you're on Amazon, a program that we're going to look at in a few seconds, Amazon has its own specific search bar that you could search directly on Amazon without it conflicting with all the other results on Google or on the World Wide Web. So using the specific search bar makes it easier to find exactly what you're looking for. Now, next is filtering a search. Sometimes it's hard to find what you're looking for. For example, if you're on a food shopping website and you type in apples, and you want apples, it also might come up with apple juice, apple sauce, packs of apples, single apples. There's gonna be a lot of results based off of your search. So there are ways to filter your search to make it specific, and we're gonna show you that as well. The third aspect is adding to the cart. If you're on any sort of shopping website, just like in a real grocery store, you put things in your cart and then you go to the checkout. It's the same process, and we're going to show you that as well. And then lastly, suggestions and history. These online shopping apps make it easier for you. And if you buy apples every week, apples will come up on the website. It will be the first thing you see. So these websites make it easy for you so that your previous purchases will come up first, and you'll be able to see those when you first open these websites. So the first thing that we're going to look at today is Amazon. Joe, you can go. Now, Amazon is, I'm sure you've heard of it. It's one of the all-time most popular online shopping websites currently, and it is used for anything, meaning you could there's ways to buy food, clothing, there's really anything you could buy on Amazon. And we're going to show you how to look at that now. Amazon, like I said before, is not a shopping website designed for a specific product or category. It it is used for anything. So Joe, if you could open your Safari on the Google homepage, and Julia is now going to explain how you get to Amazon, and also what you could do on it, especially regarding those 4 topics that I mentioned at the beginning. All right, Joe, can you get on your computer there you go. Let's go to Google. All right, Julia, you here? Julia. It seems that Julia's service not working. Julia, maybe you could leave and rejoin, and I'll start with Amazon. Okay, so here, Joe, can you open Google? So usually when you first open an internet browser, you see this page, and Google is a way that you could type in specific keywords in order to search. You could type in a question like, what's the weather today, or what's the time today, or really anything into Google. Now you also see another search bar at the top of the screen where it says google.com, and in that place is where you would type in a website name. Meaning Google search bar is only used for keywords like what's the weather today, or what time is it, or like asking questions or asking for research. That could all be done in Google, but when you want to search an entire web page, you're going to use that search bar at the top. And for Amazon, Amazon's website is very simple. It's Amazon.com. That's what it is. So we're now going to type into the search bar Amazon.com, and it will bring up the Amazon homepage, and you can see what it looks like. So like I said before, at the top, all the way to the top, we have our Amazon search bar, which is specific to Amazon. And you can see that it also gives you like suggestions of what to buy. You can keep scrolling, and there's a bunch of different kind of featured things that you could purchase now. So Amazon scrolls and kind of makes it specific into categories for you so that it's easy to find what you're looking for. Now next to the search bar, you're going to see a button that says all. Does everyone see that? And if you click on that, Joe, you can click on that. You're now going to see a bunch of different categories. So I recommend that before you click on that search button, you select one of these categories so that what you're searching for comes up. So let's say we want to buy a computer. Let's say we want to buy a computer. So as you can see that Joe highlighted, there's a category called computers. I'm sure there's one called technology. There's probably a bunch of different categories that could fit for your topic. But your search will be much more efficient if computers is selected instead of all, because it's more specific and you'll get exactly what you're looking for. So Joe is now going to change from all to computers, and then he's going to search. Let's say Apple MacBook. Let's see what that comes up with that. Okay, and you can see we can keep scrolling. It's giving us different price suggestions and other things you could buy. You can keep scrolling, and it also gives you, Amazon also offers, meaning ones that people returned and that have been used, you can still buy those at cheaper prices. Let's say we found the one we want. Let's say it's this top one over here, and to find more information about it and to actually continue with the purchase, you want to click on it. And once you click on it, you'll see more pictures. On the left side, you could access a bunch of pictures regarding the device, and there are also it gives you more information, like the price. It says if there's some sort of sale, it tells you how much you're saving. It says in stock, meaning it's something that's in stock and something I could buy. It will tell you what day this product will arrive at your house if you order right now, and also customizations. For example, if you want a specific capacity or if you want a specific color, it's giving you those options directly below the details. And you can keep scrolling and you'll get reviews from customers if you want to read even more. And also here's more details about the device. So Amazon puts everything into one place, and after you click on something, you'll be able to see all the details and make sure that this is the device that you want, and then you can go forward with the purchase. So Joe, if we go back up, once you have decided that this is what you want, you're going to see on the right side of the screen, you could choose the quantity at first. So if you want to buy 20 of them, you can click on that and change the number. It seems in this case you can only buy 2 at a time. And then you want to click on Add to Cart, which is that button over there. It's like yellow. It will also offer you some add-ons. For example, in this case, it's adding you insurance on your device, which you have the option to add or not. In this case, we're not going to do that. And it's also giving us other products that most people who bought that device did. For example, I think it showed us like AirPods and a charger. Those devices that typically come with a MacBook, and it shows it to you because other people who bought this device also added those devices to their cart. And now if you look at the top right of the screen, it now says cart with a number 1 in it. Does everyone see that? It says cart and there's number 1 in it. That means that I have 1 item in my cart, and you can keep adding items to your cart. And if you do that, the number will obviously increase. So now let's click on the cart, Joe. Let's open that. So after you click on the cart, it says shopping cart, and it will show you a list of all the items that you have added to your cart. Now it's important to keep note that just because you added it to the cart doesn't mean you actually have to purchase it. The cart is just that like first step. By clicking on that button that says delete, you can circle it. By clicking on the button that says delete, you could delete it from your cart. There's also an option to save it for later if you don't want to purchase it right now. And you also obviously have the option to proceed to checkout, meaning it says it on the right. Once you have put everything in the cart that you want to purchase, you can click on that yellow button that says proceed to checkout, and it will ask you now to sign in. And this is consistent throughout all these shopping websites. You have to have some sort of account so that it has your credit card number, it has your shipping address, it has all that. And if you don't have if you don't already have an account, you can click on all these websites will have a button that says create your Amazon account, or we'll say whatever website you are. We'll ask you for your name, your email, some sort of password that you can come up with, and after you do that, it will then ask you for your credit card number, which you would type in, and also your shipping address, so it knows everything. And then you just click on that button that says place order. So it is pretty simple, and I always like to start with Amazon because the other websites we're going to look at follow that same format of adding to a cart and then proceeding to checkout. But these online shopping websites are more just playing around and making sure you find what you're looking for. And the most important part is using these filters because, for example, on Amazon, which is a shopping website for anything, let's say you want to buy an Apple computer, you can't just type in Apple, or you might get apples, like the food, the apple will come up on the screen on a program like Amazon. So you want to make sure that you're shopping. You click on that all button next to the search bar and choose a specific category, and then make your search so you find exactly what you're looking for. All right, let's go back to the presentation. Does anyone have any questions on Amazon before we move on? Yes, I see you, Renee. Go ahead.
Yes, so on Amazon, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon, but then they have something called like Amazon Marketplace or something that has food. How is that different?
Anytime you search some sort of food on Amazon, whether it's fruit, whatever it is, it will take you to Amazon's like market, which is basically Amazon's food department. It's the same thing as clicking on a category in computers. You're basically clicking on a category and selecting food or grocery options. It's the same process, but it basically restricts it to only food options if you're searching on Amazon's grocery department.
But it's delivered in a different fashion than the Amazon. Like if you buy, I don't know, a product on Amazon, it's delivered by UPS or whatever, but the food selection is delivered the way Fresh Direct is delivered. Is that correct? Or
yeah, so the food on Amazon is delivered differently because obviously if you have like cold things, or it can't just be shipped through the UPS. So there are the ways that Amazon delivers, and that's how they'll deliver food products.
But you don't differentiate when you actually order it. There's no difference in the ordering process.
No, it's the same thing. You want to add to the cart, proceed to checkout. It will be that same process.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right, Joe, we can go to the next slide. I want to see, is Julia back? Yeah, she's here. Okay. So let me introduce this. Fresh Direct is the next thing we're going to look at. Fresh Direct is different than Amazon because you can only get food, meaning this is actually a specific online website that you can only get a specific thing. If you type into Fresh Direct, a computer, you won't get what you're looking for, meaning you have to make sure that before you even open an online shopping website, you know which one you're going to. You're either going to Amazon for something that's, anything, or you're going to specifically Fresh Direct or specifically a clothing shopping website, meaning you want to make sure that you're in the right place first. Fresh Direct, like Renee mentioned, are not shipped to the customer's home. Rather, they are hand delivered because we have cold products and products that have to be cared for and can't be put in a box. So we are now going to go back to Google and look at Fresh Direct. Julia, do you want to do this?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Joe, let's open up Google.
All right, so once you're in Google, you're going to type in Fresh Direct to get onto the website. Okay, so similar to the Amazon website, you see on the top the search bar where you can search for any type of food that you think Fresh Direct has to offer. And also below the search bar, you could see pre-prepared different categories that you could click on. So if you only want fruits, you can click on fruits and that will narrow down your search. So another thing that you can see in the top right corner is this create an account, the orange button. So that will mean that everything that you add to your cart is going to be saved under this account. That way, when you're ready to order this, your order, it's going to be saved into the cart and you can place the order easily. So if Joe searches into the search bar, I don't know, some type of food, if he types in bananas, similar to the Amazon website, he's going to get lots of different options of things that have bananas, banana bread, banana bites, and he's going to see banana yogurt, but actual bananas also come up. So if he wants to narrow down that search, if he only wants the fruit, then he would click on fruit first and then he would type in bananas, and that would narrow down his search so that it's not going to give him banana bread and it's not going to give him banana yogurt, but it's just going to give him bananas. And also similar to Amazon is the cart. So when you click on the bananas, you could see that it's going to give you an option to add those bananas to your cart. And when you click add to your cart, that's going to show you a little notification at the top next to the cart icon, a number 1, which means that you have one item in your cart ready for checkout. And when you're ready to check out that one item, once you've added everything that you want to order, the orange checkout button is on the right. And when you click on that, that's going to check out your order. You're going to put in your account number, or you're going to create a new account if you don't already have one. And then you type in your credit card information, your address, and that's going to deliver these bananas to your house.
Great. Okay. So now, so that was Fresh Direct. That was a specifically food shopping website. And the next category is clothing. We're going to look at a clothing shopping website, followed by, we're going to do, so we did everything, which was Amazon. Then we did food, which is Fresh Direct. And then we're going to do clothing. We're going to use Gap as an example. And then we're going to do books, like a website like Barnes & Noble. So Gap is the website that we're going to use for an example, but this is consistent throughout, any sort of clothing website. It all works the same. Now Gap, the only difference between Gap and what we've been doing before is that Gap, there are retail Gap stores, meaning there's no actual Amazon store. I mean, I think they have some like bookstores out, but there's no official like Amazon store or Fresh Direct store. That's all done virtually, but Gap also has retail. So there'll also be options on the website for like pickup, where you could pick up an option at the actual store. I'm sure there are other ways that you can make purchases because there are retail stores. All right, so we are now going to open Google again and type in, the website is the same format, gap.com, into our search bar. And let's see what comes up and see if it's anywhat similar to Amazon and Fresh Direct. All right, here we go. Okay. So here's Gap, and you can see that I'm just looking around to see if those similarities at the top left, at the top right, sorry. We see that shopping bag, right? And it appears to be empty. There's no number there. And it also seems to have categories like denim, women, maternity, men, new teen, girls, whatever it is. And there are different categories there. And if you scroll down, it will show you kind of featured clothing. You could add your email to an email list, customer support. I mean, there are many things that you could play around with on here. But let's do what we've been doing before. Let's click on, let's say we want boys. Joe, let's click on boys. So there's a category, and now it's giving us even more categories. So you see how each time you click on something, it's getting even more specific. So now it's giving new arrivals, teens, active. Let's click on whatever it is, new arrivals. Let's do that. All right, there we go. And now it's showing us new arrivals. And you can see that for even more specific, there at the top, you could select a specific category, a size that you're looking for, colors, and also prices. If you want the range to be, from $6 to whatever it is, it seems that $6 is the cheapest you can go. But if you only want something that's in a specific price range, that's actually a great a category that you could adjust. So as you can see that before I even started looking for things, I clicked on boys, I clicked on new arrivals, I'm changing the price, I changed the color, the size. I mean, there's so many things that you want to do before you start actually searching. And this will just make your search so much easier. So if we scroll down, it's giving us, shorts, shirts, whatever it is. Joe, let's click on one. Maybe we can buy a mask. Let's click on one. All right, there we go. So now it's showing us pictures, and it's also giving us other colors. Joe, let's change the color. Let's see what options they have. There we go. A bunch of different colors, and it says $15. You click on where it says product details, fit and sizing. I mean, this is a mask, so there aren't too many specific sizing options, but it does give you details. And if you scroll down, like on Amazon Fresh Direct, it gives you customers also viewed. So people who had this in their cart, people who pulled up the masks, also bought these things. So it's giving you these suggestions so that it makes your shopping experience a little easier. Meaning sometimes you'll be shopping for something and you won't even know that you want kids denim joggers with stretch, and you'll just see it come up, and that's what you'll add to the cart. Okay, so let's add our masks to the cart. We're going to click on add to bag. In this case, it's not cart, it's add to bag. It will give you, it says added to bag, and then you have the option to either keep shopping, meaning you want to add more things to your bag, you're not fully done, or you could just check out and make your purchase and type in your delivery address and your credit card and all that information. Okay, so now let's go and keep shopping, Joe. So I just want to see. Can we scroll up a little bit? There we go. So it's now at the cart. You see it has that one there at the top right. It has one. It's highlighted in blue, and that means we have something in our cart. And you can click on that in order to continue with your purchase, and also click on sign in and your account, which is that button to the left of the cart, in order to type in your information so that this is saved. Because if you open Gap on a different computer and want to continue shopping, you have to make sure that you're signed in, so that everything in your cart stays with it and doesn't just go away. Okay. Are there any questions? I'm sorry, I'm not pausing for that, but if you have any questions, please raise your hand virtually, because then it will come up on my screen that you have a question, so I'll be able to see that. So far, we've done Amazon, Fresh Direct, and Gap, and we're going to look at our last website, which is Barnes & Noble. I tried to choose 4 websites with different categories, so that we kind of get a little different experience. But please raise your hand if you have any questions. Joe, let's go back to the presentation. All right, I don't see anyone's hand up, so we're going to keep going. All right, let's go to next slide. All right, books. So Barnes & Noble, the example we're going to use. And once again, Barnes & Noble, like Gap, has retail stores, meaning things that you can actually walk to without it being 100% virtual. It's an online shopping website, obviously specifically for books. I think Barnes & Noble also offers like games and videos and other things, but mainly books. Barnes & Noble is a bookstore, and the website I think is barnesandnoble.com. So we're going to go to that now and take a look at that. Great, we're great on time. It's perfect. All right, there we go. Back on Gap. Let's see if that works. There we go. All right, Julie, you want to take over?
Okay, so again, similar to the other websites that we've looked at, Barnes & Noble also has that search bar on the top and then categories below it to filter your search. Also, you could see on the top right, like the other shopping websites, is your cart and the option to sign into your account so that all of the things that you put in your cart will save onto your account. Meaning that if you only add things to your cart right now and you don't sign in, then your cart will not be saved. And if you X out of this window or you join on another computer, this cart will be deleted. So you want to make sure to sign in before adding a lot of items to your cart, because if some reason your computer dies or something, then your cart will not be saved. Another thing is Barnes & Noble is mostly books, so you can buy books on Barnes & Noble, but you can also order books on Amazon, which we showed you before. Those are two different places to order books, and either way works. So here, if we search into Barnes & Noble, we can look for a book. So if we type in To Kill a Mockingbird, and then we press that search bar or we press enter, you can see that a lot of different versions of the same book come up, but you can scroll through them, you could choose which one you want, and you can also filter your searches. So as you could see on the left, you can filter the books that you got by price if you only want them under $5, or if Joe, you scroll down, there's a bunch of, I think you could search, you could filter it by age. So like if you only want children's books, you can filter your search so that the only books that come up are for children and not for adults. So if you click on one of these books here, you can add it to your cart the same way that we did for other websites. So if Joe clicks on here, To Kill a Mockingbird, you could see that there's a bunch of different options once you already click on the book. You can either select the hardcover, the paperback, I guess you could select it online, and you could also choose the one that's large print. So if you have trouble seeing, you could choose it with bigger text. So even within this one book, there's a lot of different options of what you could choose according to your preferences. And then also you could see that there's two different options of ship this item or pick it up. So Barnes & Noble, similar to Gap, has in-store purchases. So you can go to Barnes & Noble and buy the book, or you can buy it online so it will be shipped to your house. So if Joe adds this book to his cart, you can either continue shopping like we did with Gap, or we can view our shopping cart in order to purchase the order. And then as you see, once you log in, you check out on the right-hand side, and then you're gonna put in your address and you're gonna put in your credit card information so that it will send this book to your house.
Great. I also just want to mention that almost all these websites that we looked at today, actually I would say all these websites that we looked at today are secure, meaning if you're afraid of typing in your credit card number or something like that, these websites are secure, but you want to make sure that like if you're not shopping on one of the well-known websites that you actually look and make sure that it's secure. I want to give you one tip about that. If you, I'm not sure if you can see it here. All right, so if everyone can see, I'm going to circle it. You can see that next to the Barnes & Noble website, it's all the way at the top left. You guys see that it has like a little lock. Does everyone see that? is a small little lock directly to the left of the Barnes & Noble. That means the website is secure. And if you don't see that, don't put your credit card number in. And also, I also want to point out that every website, we can't see it now, starts with the few letters, HTTPS:// Joe, here, you know what? Let me do it. I want to go here for a sec because I think this is important. Let's say Amazon.com. So here's the format of all websites. You know what? Let me add that. Give me 1 second. This is a great tip, and I want to show you. All right, there we go. So here's the typical format of a website. We're actually going to get into this later on in the lessons, but you can see that it always starts with that HTTPS://. That you don't have to type in, meaning you could just start from Amazon.com and you'll still get the same thing you're looking for. But and then it goes to www, which stands for World Wide Web, .amazon, which is the name of the website, then .com is the domain. We're going to talk about all this later on. The only reason why I'm showing this to you now is because of this S here. So everyone see, I'm highlighting over here, HTTPS. That S stands for safe. If you do not see an S, you should X out of your browser immediately because that means the website's not safe. So before you start typing in your credit card number and your address, you want to make sure you see that lock at the top left of the screen if you're on specific browsers. Or if you do see that HTTPS, make sure it's just not HTTP. You want to make sure that you see that S so that you know your website's safe and that you feel comfortable putting in your credit card and your address. All right, I'm going to stop sharing here. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm seeing, yes, oh, I see a bunch of hands. Let's see. I want to go back to see. Yes, Michael Gottlieb. Do you have, yeah, so you have to unmute yourself. We'll say in the middle of this. There we go. All right. Go ahead.
Could you discuss a little bit about returns for these stores and their policies and labels and things like that?
Sure. Joe, do you want to open Amazon again?
Should I unmute myself?
Yeah, you can mute yourself again.
Mute myself. Okay.
Okay. Joe, just share Amazon. Let's go. All right, I'm going to show this with Amazon because I think it's the most basic. But if everyone sees next to the cart, does everyone see where it says returns and orders? Everyone see that? All the way at the top right. On pretty much all websites, you're going to see something at the top that's going to say returns. If you don't, then you might have to be signed in first. You might have to sign in first so that it has your order history and all that. But usually it will be somewhere at the top right of the screen. Joe, let's click on that. See, in this case, it's making you sign in so we can see your previous previous orders, but after you click on returns, it will show you every single thing you've purchased on Amazon in your account. So like, let's say, we'll say computer from April 20th. It will give you a list of all the items that you purchased in the past few months or whatever it is. And next to each item, it will say return. And basically, with programs such as Amazon Fresh Direct that don't have retail stores, you'll have to box it all up and put the thing in, and it will email you a shipping label that you could put on the put in the box. Now, because these are only online stores, it is a little complicated versus like Gap and Barnes & Noble. You could order something online and walk into the store with the actual product and return it right there. But programs with, let's say, Amazon Fresh Direct, you need to do everything virtually. So you'll click on that button at the top right that says returns and orders. It will give you the list of all the products that you've purchased recently. And then you can click on return and it will give you the shipping label that you could print, and you'll have to kind of rebox it and leave it out for pickup. Okay. Are there any more questions before we move on? Let me see. Okay. I see Mr. Dweck. Joe, can you find him? Oh, there we go. Mr. Dweck, I don't see you, but you have to click unmute.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, what's the advantage of buying a book from Amazon or the same book from Barnes & Noble? Okay,
great question. I like that question. Basically, Amazon, like I said, it's for anything. So you could buy anything, and there's no specific category. And I'm sure the book To Kill a Mockingbird that we were looking up on Barnes & Noble, you could also find on a program like Amazon. If you find a cheaper version on either of them, I would go for it. Amazon seems to be like the quickest delivery, like the kind of the fast way to go. So if you want something desperately, or if you want something ASAP, I would use Amazon. Amazon is also a little easier to use. It's kind of the go-to online shopping website. But obviously Barnes & Noble is specific to books. So if you want some sort of specific category, I would use Barnes & Noble. The biggest difference is obviously the price. If you see a price difference, go for the cheapest one if you can. Right, but both Amazon and Barnes & Noble are both reliable, so it's all fine with security, and you could use either one in order to make purchases. Okay, are there any more questions before we move on? I don't see. Just raise your hand virtually or all right. Susan, I see your hands up. So this is going to be the last question, and then we're going to move on. You have to click on unmute. Howard and Susan, you have to click on unmute in the middle of the screen. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is, it's a little different, but I know not very long ago, I ordered like from Overstock, which I know is of these companies, and it was late at night and I must have hit it twice, so I ended up with 2 orders. And I'm not sure if I even went back and checked that, but I was, the way they talked, they were going to send 2 orders and I couldn't get out of it. It was during the pandemic. I don't think they had so many people, but is there an easy way to figure that out ahead of time?
So I know most websites give you like a time span for canceling orders. So after you made an order, there's probably like, I'm not sure the exact time slot, but it could be maybe 2 or 3 hours after you make the purchase. I'm not sure, each website has a different time slot, so I'm not sure that, but if you accidentally order something, you have the ability to cancel it right then, right there. Or the other option is just waiting until you receive it and then return it, just like I showed you before by clicking on returns. Okay, I'm sorry, I see a few more questions, but I want to move on because I don't have too much time left. So Joe, let's go back to our presentation. All right, so now we're going to look at social media, our next topic for today. You also, once again, I'm going to mention this at the end of class, but the Q&A session is open to all these questions. You can come on Tuesday and I'll answer every single one of them. Okay, social media, if you don't know what that is yet, is a digital tool that allows users to quickly create and share content with the public. People use social media to share pictures and also to communicate with friends. A lot of people use this sometimes even more than using the typical messaging app. There's a bunch of, as you can see in the pictures, a few of the ones that you could maybe identify are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Those are a few of the common ones, they're basically many of them. And 2 of the ones we're going to look at today is number 1, Instagram, and number 2, Facebook. So Joe, let's go to the next slide. Instagram is a popular photo sharing app for smartphones. Now, if any of you want to impress your grandchildren, Instagram is the way to do it. Your grandchildren will be very happy if you know how to use Instagram. Compared with other social networks, Instagram is relatively simple. It's focused mainly on sharing photos and videos with your friends. Okay, so Joe, let's share your phone screen and let's start looking at Instagram. We're going to look at a few of the common things on Instagram, and then briefly at Facebook, and then we will wrap up. All right. So Joe we should now see his phone screen. There we go. So let's open Instagram. Joe, can you go back home screen? There we go. Okay, everyone sees at the top left. You might have this on somewhere else on your phone, or you might have to download it, which is by going into the App Store and typing in Instagram and downloading it from there. But if you already have Instagram and just haven't used it yet, the logo is going to look something like that. It's at the top left of Joe's screen, but it might be somewhere else on your screen. It's like a rainbow kind of with a white camera, whatever it is. And all you have to do is click on it to open it. And now here, Julia, you could do some of this. So let's yeah, there you are.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, go ahead.
So now you're in the Instagram app and you can see that there's a lot of different options here. So on the top, you see lots of different circles. These are all people that Joe's Instagram follows. And what these circles are they're all called stories. So each one of these people that Joe follows has a story right now on their Instagram. And a story just means that they are posting some sort of picture or video, some content, and that content is only going to last 24 hours. So a story is not something that you post on your Instagram and it lasts forever. It's something that you post and it only lasts for 24 hours. So for example, people would use stories to make a happy birthday post. They don't need it to say happy birthday to their friend on their Instagram forever. They only wanted to say happy birthday on their Instagram for those 24 hours. So they would put it on top in their story. So how do you create a story? So you could see here on the top left, there's a circle. It says your story, and there's a plus there. So if you click on that plus, you're going to create your own story. So there's a bunch of different options. You can either take a picture right now in your room, or if you want to use a pre-existing picture that you already have on your camera roll, you would press on the bottom left corner. You could see that's going to give you all pictures of your camera roll. You could choose any one of these pictures from your camera roll. And if you click on it, you would add that picture to your story. So if Joe clicks on one of the pictures he has in his camera roll, Joe, click on one. Okay. So if he clicks on this picture right now, he can either just add this picture to his story straight, or he can decorate the picture. So as you see, it's a little hard to see because the background is white of this picture, but on the top right, there's a bunch of different options. So you can add text, you can add drawings to the picture, you can make the picture smaller. And then once you've finished decorating the picture, you press on the bottom left corner your story, and that's going to add this picture to your story. So anyone who follows you on Instagram is going to see this story for 24 hours of this picture that you posted. Okay, so that's how you would create an Instagram story. Now, another feature of Instagram is the actual feed. So each person who has an Instagram account has an Instagram feed, meaning that whatever they post will be saved onto their account until they delete it. So unlike stories, your Instagram feed is there forever until you delete that picture. And on an Instagram feed, on your pictures that you post on your Instagram, people can like those pictures, they can comment those pictures on those pictures, and that's sort of a way of showing that you have a lot of followers, that a lot of people liked your picture, that they commented, and you can write anything on your picture. You can write anything on somebody else's picture. So to create your own post, you could see on the bottom in the middle is that plus button. And if you click on that, that's going to add a new post to your account. So you could choose from any of the pictures in your camera roll once again. And once you select one of those pictures, you would press next on the top right corner. You can add a filter to your picture to make it look better. And then you can press next again. And then you can add a caption to your picture. So if you post a picture of you and your friends, you can write some sort of caption, or if you're writing a happy birthday post and you want it to last more than 24 hours, you can write a happy birthday caption saying happy birthday to your friend. And you also have the option to tag people, meaning that if you're in a picture, if in the picture it's you and your friend, you can tag your friend in that picture. So let's say this was a picture of Mittler Senior Tech. Joe would click on the picture, he would type in Mittler Senior Tech, and that Instagram would be tagged in the picture, and then he would press done. Another thing that you could do is you can add the location of the place of your picture. So if you type in Ramaz School, you can tell everybody, or if you're at the beach, you could tell them where you are. So if somebody wants to know your location, you're able to show them through your Instagram post. Then once you finish all of this, you see on the top right corner the blue share post, and that's going to add this picture to your Instagram account, and anybody who anyone who types in your account name will see this picture. And then the last thing I want to explain is there's hashtags. So in this caption here, if you type in a hashtag, that's going to group your picture with anybody else who uses the same hashtag. So if you type in hashtag technology, that means that this post that you're writing right now is related to technology. And anybody who clicks on hashtag technology when they see your post will see all other posts that have been made with that same hashtag technology. So you can see all posts that are related to this same topic. And then you would press OK once you finish this caption, and you could share the picture on your Instagram account. And then also, Instagram has two different options. So you can either make yourself a private account or a public account. If you have a private account, so Joe, if you go out of this post now and you go into your profile, so press cancel, you could see Joe right now is in the profile, which means that's all the way on the right on the bottom. He can either make his account public or private. If it's a private account, that means that any person who wants to see your content needs to click and needs to request access, and then you need to grant them access. If you have a public account, anybody who wants to see your pictures is able to, and you don't need to grant them access.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Joe, can you share your computer screen with the audio? So that was a brief overview of Instagram and how you could post things on your feed and on your stories, right? 24-hour stories and on your feed. Once again, if you have more, no, Joe, you can go back a slide. Once again, if you have any questions on Instagram, sorry, we're running out of little time today, but if you have any questions on Instagram, please come to that Q&A session on Tuesday. Joe, share your computer screen, please. All right, so now, Joe, you can click on that video at the bottom right. We are now going to watch a quick video about Joe, pause for a sec. This is a brief tutorial of Facebook, just kind of the overview of how you use Facebook. We're going to watch this video, and then we're going to do one last thing today, and then I'm going to say bye until next week. So Joe, let's play this video.
Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
Facebook is one of the most popular social networking sites in the world. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sign up and also how to navigate your account. To get started, go to facebook.com and fill out the form you see here. You'll need to enter your first and last name, and then your email address. You'll also need a good, strong password, one that's easy for you to remember but hard for other people to guess. Avoid using really obvious passwords, like your name, predictable patterns, or the word password. The more random your password is, the better. Next, enter your birthday and gender. This may seem like a lot of personal information to share, but don't worry. If you're concerned about privacy, you can always change your settings later to limit what other people can see. When you're ready, click the button that says Sign Up. And a page will appear that says Welcome to Facebook. All you have to do now is confirm your email address. Afterwards, you'll be able to access all the features on the site. Just go to your email, find the message that Facebook sent you, and follow the instructions. Congratulations! Now you have a Facebook account. One of the first things you'll want to do is start exploring, so you can learn your way around the site. For example, this is your homepage, which is the first thing you'll see whenever you sign in. It includes the publisher, where you can post status updates, links to other parts of the site, and finally your newsfeed. This is where you'll see updates from the people you're friends with and also the pages you follow. Let's take a look at my profile next. Your profile, also known as your timeline, is your personal page on Facebook. It displays your photos, school and work info, and anything else that you've shared. Friends and family can also share posts on your timeline, for example, to wish you a happy birthday. At the top of the page, you'll find features like the search bar, messages, notifications, and more. You can access these anytime, no matter where you are on Facebook. For example, watch what happens when we go back to the home page. All of the options are still there. Do you have a mobile device, like a smartphone or a tablet? Then you might want to try the Facebook app. The app lets you do almost everything that you can do on the desktop version, from reading updates to checking notifications. The interface is different, but still pretty similar to the features on the website, so with a little practice, you should be able to use it in no time. For example, here's the Facebook app for the iPhone. You can easily scroll up and down your news feed and access other common features here, like messages and a link back to your news feed. The More button lets you navigate to other parts of the app, including your timeline, events, and more. The Android app has a similar button for the very same purpose. This time you'll find it in the upper left corner. Just tap or swipe right, and you can access almost all the features you're used to finding on the website. Now you have an account and everything you need to get started with Facebook. Both the desktop version and the app make it extremely easy to keep in touch. Soon it'll start to feel like second nature as you get more and more experience with your account.
Okay. Joe, next slide. There we go. Hi, everyone. So I'm now going to open up the breakout rooms. If you've never done this before, you're about to be divided into individual groups. Wait, Joe, go back to the presentation because you're going to have something to do. I'm going to give everyone, next slide, Joe. There we go. All right. If you have not seen this before, if you have not received this, I texted it to you, but if you have not gotten this before, please take a picture of it on your phone or a screenshot. This is what you're going to be working on in the breakout room session. It should take you no longer than 3 or 4 minutes because it's pretty simple and it covers exactly what we did in class today. In a few seconds, you're going to see on your screen a button that says Join Breakout Room. You just click on that. That's all you have to do. You might have to unmute yourself because you're all muted right now, so you might have to do that. And please keep your video on. It makes it much nicer when you can see everyone. So please turn your video on. You'll also see at the bottom of the screen a button that says Ask for Help. Please click on that if you need any help. We're now going to open up the rooms. I think everyone has now taken a picture of the screen. If you have not done so, please. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's now open up the rooms, and I'll see everyone in about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we will wrap up for the day. So please click on a button that says Join Breakout Room. It should be in the middle of your screen, and we'll call you back soon. Please work on that sheet and click on Ask for Help if you have any questions. Please click on Join Breakout Room. Everyone should see that in the middle of their screen. Mr. Dweck, Lenny, and Francisco, please click on Join Breakout Room. Bernice, Sharon, Warren, please click on Join Breakout Room. Lenny, please click on Join Breakout Room. It's like 3 maestros. Sharon, Warren, Bernice. All right, what do we have left? Joe, move the people around so that if they're alone, they have someone. Just move them around. All right, I don't think we're going to start going to people's rooms. It's just whatever. We'll give them 2 minutes. It's fine. Joe, you know, I have to show you on breakout rooms, Joe, you can make them go automatically without clicking on join. There's a way that you could just send them. Like, you know how Rabbi Abba does it? We just go. That we have to do that because then they don't have to click on. All right, Francesco's fine because he's in his room. And I don't know, Mr. Dweck, are you here?
Someone asked for help.
Who asked for
help?
help?
Send you there, okay?
I'm
gonna send one of you there.
Send Julia.
Yeah.
Wait, how many people? Just one person asked for help? Okay, Joe, send Julia for 30 seconds and then bring her back. And don't ask her if she's done. Just bring her back.
Fine.
Okay?
Wait, you gotta go. I moved you. Oh, mate, you gotta break out room 6.
No, I thought one person.
What? Now another person did.
You want me to go to breakout room 3?
Yeah, go to 3.
Okay.
Mid, I'm moving you to 6. Someone there asked for help.
Okay.
Joe, can you put me back in breakout room 3? Because I was getting them the questions.
Yeah, I'll put you back.
Close the rooms and go to welcome. Go to welcome back.
Close them?
But
Yep.
I was giving, okay.
What?
Room 3 didn't have the questions.
Fine.
Okay.
And then
I'll
Joe,
close
Yeah,
No.
Joe, you closed it out too soon, but whatever. Okay,
Fine.
Joe.
wait, I need to go back to their room. I was telling them I was
No.
question.
Joe, it's 12:30, guys. We have to wrap up.
And it was closed camera.
I didn't see that. Joe, go to welcome back. Where's this? Go to the presentation. Joe Kaplan. There we go. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to give everyone a few more seconds to get back, and then we're going to wrap up for the day. I'm sorry if you didn't get a chance to take a picture of the sheet. I thought everyone got a chance to do that, but I'm going to put it on the screen again. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put it on the screen and go over it again. Joe, has it been 30 seconds? Is everyone back? Yeah. Okay, great. Joe, next slide. Okay, I'm going to wrap up quickly because I know we're out of time. Here was the sheet. The first one was pretty self-explanatory. Amazon, you shop for anything. Fresh Direct is specifically food. Barnes & Noble's a book shopping website, and Gap is a clothing shopping website. You just had to match those up. Next was to name the icons. Instagram is obviously the one on the left and Facebook on the right. And the last one was the difference between posting on a story and on your feed. A story lasts 24 hours, as we showed you, and feed lasts forever unless you delete it for some reason. Okay, you know what, stay there. I'll give everyone a few seconds if you want to take a picture of this or keep this because this is this is what I wanted to do in the breakout room, and I hope you were able to actually at least get some of it done. I think it was pretty self-explanatory, but you could come to the Q&A session on Tuesday if you have any questions. All right, Joe, we're gonna go to the next slide. Okay, now I just want to wrap up the class with a few more things. If you have nothing to do this week, and if you want some way to practice what we did in class today, please use these online shopping websites and make a purchase or explore these websites, and you should be able to somewhat add something to the cart and proceed to the checkout. Once again, you can let me know if you have any questions. And then lastly, use Instagram or Facebook, create an account, start an account and get in touch with your friends and family. You should be able to at least start to that. The social media sometimes takes some time to really get everything all set, but you could start working on that. So those are two things that we worked on today that if you have time this week, you should work on to practice. All right, Joe, next. Once again, if you know anyone who could impact, who could Joe, go back. If you know anyone who you think could benefit from the classes, here's the link and the meeting ID. Please share that information around. Because there's no maximum number of people in the Zoom meeting, and I would like to have as many people as possible. So please share this around. You all have it now in the WhatsApp. All right, Joe, next slide. Now here's a few updates. The class was recorded, so I will send out a recorded version of the class afterwards on the WhatsApp, and to the few people who wanted it through email. I will do that right after the class. There'll be a Q&A session this Tuesday. Please come if you have any questions that I didn't answer, either on social media or on online shopping or anything. You can come and I'll be there and I'll be able to answer your questions. Our next class will be, the Q&A session is at 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:45. Sorry for not including that. And our next class will be on Sunday, July 5th at 11:30 a.m. Joe, next. I hope you all enjoyed today's class and have a great week. And I will see everyone either on Tuesday for the Q&A session or next Sunday. Bye-bye, everyone. Joe, you can